Hey everybody, Bill Shelton again. This time I'm going to do a video on the ManyCam software. I was requested to do this by someone wanting to learn how to put the lower thirds on their videos. I've been using ManyCam for my classes now just to kind of change things up and have a little bit more of a professional view while I'm in the classroom setting. That and the lower third on that you see below my head here, it has my name, and I usually try to put the correct date when I'm attending class, so it kind of keeps things in order the way they need to be done. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over to a um, full screen desktop view. Let me change something real quick. Okay. So I'm going to change over to my desktop. And here we can see the ManyCam software. And I'm going to make it as big as I can. Excuse me. Okay, so here at the top we have ManyCam, and it has a drop down list. If you click on the little yellow button, you can show and hide ManyCam. It usually resorts back down to here. All you gotta do is click on it, it'll pop right back up. Full screen broadcast, which is what I'm doing right now. Rtmp, that is if you're doing live broadcasting like via YouTube or any of the other streaming sites that are out. How-to videos pretty much goes through and shows you how to use the program. We have settings, help, about, and then to close the program. I'm going to go ahead and click on settings, and I'll start at the general tab. Excuse me. Um, Run ManyCam on startup. I just leave this checked because I never know when I'm going to need it or how quick I'm going to need it, so I just have it come up. Show UI animation. It just shows animations when you're switching through different things. The virtual webcam friendly name. When you go to use your webcam on a streaming service, instead of using the actual webcam name that you have attached to your computer, this will be the name that shows up that you'll need to be using. It's pretty much like your webcam is going to pipe through this software, and this software is going to replace your webcam online. So right now I currently have a Logitech, I think it's a C270 or 720, and when I go online, instead of looking for Logitech, whatever the serial number is, I'll be looking for this. Next tab is Snapshots. This will be where if I take snapshots with my cam or my video cam, webcam, sorry, this is where the pictures will be saved to. This will be the default name. So if I go through doing multiple snapshots, it'll put my snapshot, and then the next one will be my snapshot 1, my snapshot 2, my snapshot 3. We have a delay where it's as soon as you click the button, 3 seconds after you click the button, or 5 seconds after you click the button, to where it actually takes the picture. And you can also have it play a shutter sound. Recordings, it's the same thing as the photos for this upper half. I always save mine to MP4. It's a smaller file, it's just as good quality. Bitrate, you may need to change this according to whatever streaming site you're using. They may have limitations or requirements, I just leave this as default. Video, you can go through and pick out the different resolutions that you want to appear. Frames per second, I always leave mine at 30 frames per second. You have a good solid video, and the quality is okay. It's good enough to get you through most things. Audio, when you're playing back a video, like currently I have my headset on, so anything that I need to hear will be sent through the headset. And I also have my speakers, and I have other audio cards on my computer, and those will show up here. Yours will not look exactly like this unless you have the exact same setup. Listen to the sound from your microphones. I don't have this on because I don't need to hear myself talk when I'm using my headset. Network. This is if you have to do something special to gain access to the internet, that's what this is for. Most people will not need this. I think this more applies to like a corporate setting. If you have to go through a proxy port and use a name and password in order to gain access to the internet. Games, launch game when choosing it as video source. This is for people that like to make gaming videos. Excuse me. You would go through, add the game, and then when you go through and choose that game as your input source, which I'll show you in just a moment. When you choose that as your source, this option would start the game as soon as you chose that as your source. Desktop. Do you want the cursor to be uh, visible in your video? Yes. Capture layered windows. So if you have multiple windows open, you can catch them all. Animate mouse clicks. It will, I forget what it does, but it does something to kind of draw attention to the mouse cursor. Zoom, we have zoom in, zoom out. These are just kind of like hotkeys. So if you want to zoom in, I would hit Alt A, and it zooms into where the mouse is, and then Alt S would zoom me back out. Show rectangle around cursor, which I think it does when I did that. It does on my end, it doesn't show in the video though. And then stick the rectangle to the mouse cursor. So if I do that and then hit zoom, as I move around, it, you can't see it, but as you can see in the screen, the screen is actually moving around with the mouse. I'm pushing it side to side and up and down. If on my end, you can actually see there's a red box around the cursor. And then we have the Rtmp. Like I said, this is for streaming services. So that's all the settings. Since I'm currently recording, it's not going to show up, but in this area you have the little video camera icon, and then there'll be like a toggle switch to choose video or still shot, and then there's a icon of a camera that would sit right here. Excuse me. Here we have the resolution that you're trying to capture at. We have picture in picture mode. So if I wanted to show my desktop and I wanted to show myself in the bottom, there I am. And I can drag out where I am. I can change the size. If I had multiple sources, I could just cycle through the different options. The zoom, you can automatically, or not automatically, but manually zoom in and out. I can flip and rotate my screen where, hey, I'm upside down now. This just rotates the other direction. This, what is that doing? Oh, that's just moving my, oh, that's flipping the video. There we go. Grayscale, any of these color settings I don't really mess with. I mean, you can adjust the brightness and contrast. Usually I just leave everything where it is because it looks exactly like I'm seeing on my screen. Audio, this is where you choose the audio source that as your microphone. Currently I have my webcam and my headset. If you click on the microphone by one of them, like currently you see the little red symbol here saying that I've muted my webcam because I don't want my webcam and my headset to pick up the microphone audio. This is the volume adjustment for your microphone. And I'm going to try to talk just a little bit loud. You can barely see it moving right here. But if I speak up a little bit louder, you can kind of tell that the meter here starts moving around, picking up my voice. Here you can add files or playlists for music or other audio files, so you can have them playing in your videos. This is a playlist for videos or visuals. I believe you can have photos and videos in this area. Transitions. You can go through and pick the transitions. Like currently I have two sources. I have my webcam up here and I have my desktop live view over here. Why is that doing that? That's just weird. I think I lost a little bit of the desktop video. But as I was saying, transitions, you can choose your transitions between your different sources. So currently I'm on my desktop view, and if you see the mouse moving over here, I can cut the source, or I can transition back over to it where it's the way it changes from one video source to the other. Like that way it kind of pinched down to the middle. I leave it on random. It the transitions really don't affect me that much. If I want a certain transition, I'll do it in video editing software for particular videos if that's the effect that I'm looking for. Text. One of the first things I do when I open this software is I save it to where it gets rid of the ManyCam logo. If I wanted, I could enable text, which I don't have any text on there right now. But you can have text show up on the screen and it just kind of stays there. Draw. See how it turns my icon or my cursor into a little pencil, and it only affects in the viewing area directly in ManyCam where it's showing the desktop view. And let's say I wanted to choose red, and instead of a pencil I want to use a paintbrush, and I want a good heavy line, and I can sit here and actually draw on the screen just by clicking and writing. This is more useful in maybe doing a demonstration or presentation to where you have a specific point that you need to make. You can draw your arrow like this is exactly what I'm talking about, or you know how to use a pencil. Clear all removes all the drawings. We have the time where I can show a clock on the screen. It's also movable. Put it anywhere you want. You can kind of fade it in or out. I always leave it, if I need it, I would leave it open. You can have a 12 or 24-hour format, and you can also show the day. For me, that's too large for my uses, so I don't even use it. You can also use different clock styles. You have several to choose from, different colors. You have a timer. You can set the time here, start, reset. You can change the size of it, and just like the clock, you can change the opacity. And you have the different clock styles as well, and a stopwatch. So if you're timing something in particular, how long it takes you to do something, maybe you just turn on the stopwatch and it'll start counting off or counting up. And once again, it's got the same settings as the clock and everything else. uh, Lower third, this is the part that I was asked to show. So for this, I mean, it will work on the desktop view. It has a nice little animation to come in, then the words appear. Usually when I'm in class, when you turn it off, it has a transition or an animation to fade out. Normally when I'm sitting in class, I get this view on my camera, and actually let me go back and you actually see what I'm doing. You can add multiple uh, lower thirds. You can have them saved up for, maybe I have blue for this class, red for that class. I just use this one. But you add new. If you click on the actual excuse me, color, say I wanted red, and it's really hard to see. Let me try to zoom in. I just learned that one. Right here, it's a text field, but the letters are gray and it's kind of hard to see. But the first one is usually where I put my name. And then let's say I wanted to do today's date. So do June 29th, 2016. Go go back out. Go out to, sorry, my phone's ringing in the background. So I just made this lower third, and if you look on the right hand side, it says activate, deactivate lower third. So if I want to use the one I just created, it would show up with the information that I just typed in beside of it. And if I wanted to switch over to the other one, that one would fade out, and then the other one would fade back in. And the way that I normally use it, which I was getting ready to show you, is I'll be sitting in class, and it the way our class shows it is the our names automatically show up in the corner, but I didn't like the way it looked. That's just personal preference, so I have it turned on before I start the class, and this is the view that most of my teachers see and my other classmates. I just think it adds a nice little touch to the classroom setting. Along with the lower thirds, I'll go up here to the top section, effects, and there are tons of filters, like, which one? Cartoonizer. So if I apply that filter, it'll apply it to the desktop. Most people would probably use it on the webcam. So effects, cartoonizer, and hey, I'm a cartoon now. So in order to remove that, over here in this area, it says selected. Okay, it's not going to show it on there. Whichever one you have current, let me go ahead and reapply it to that one so I can show what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm currently on desktop view, and over on the right it says selected and it has cartoonizer. If I want to get rid of that effect, I just click on the X and everything goes back to normal. So I go over here, turn that off, and then back to the desktop view. You can drag and drop your favorite effects over to this little panel right here and save them. So just for like a quick access, instead of having to go filters, cartoonizer, you could just click on it right there. The last little section is the gallery. I have my snapshots where, like I was telling you earlier, you have the video camera and the photo camera icons with the little toggle switch. If you have it toggled over to the snapshots, any of the pictures that you take, which if you had it set to the snapshot, this would match the camera icon and you would click and take a single photo. My recordings, it's the same thing. The video that you're seeing here will actually show up here after I get done recording it. To activate recording, you have it toggled to the video camera setting and you just hit start recording, which right now it's going to say stop recording because I'm in the middle of video. But that's just a basic overview of ManyCam. Hope somebody gets some information out of this. Um, they have trial versions, they have pro version. I can't remember exactly which version this is. This is ManyCam Virtual Webcam 4.1.0.12. It's available at manycam.com. This is the enterprise version. So some of these features may not be available if you're doing like the free trial or whatnot. Um, with the free trial, one of the first things that I would suggest doing, if I can remember where it was, under the text tab, go turn off the Show ManyCam logo. I mean, if you want it there, that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. To me, that just kind of takes away from the software. So that's my 2 cents on the matter. Like I said, I hope somebody gets the information out of this. I've been using it for a couple of years now. So if anybody has any trouble or questions about it, feel free to shoot me a comment, inbox me. Um, I have a BBC Shelton Facebook and Twitter now to separate for the YouTube side of my life, and I have my own personal for my personal side of life. I'm trying to divide the two so they don't continuously merge together. Okay, so I think that covers about everything. So, all of y'all have a great day. Enjoy life.